Coming up tonight on Gridiron Glory, two TVC Hawking teams battle to rematch in the Region 27 title game. Ironton faces a familiar foe in the regional semifinal. And in our game of the week, Sheridan and Bishop Hartley fight for a chance at the Region 15 crown.
Don't go anywhere because episode 13 of Gridiron Glory starts right now. Let's go!
The regional semifinals are here, and this show is jam-packed with nothing but ball. Welcome back to Gridiron Glory Season 24. I'm your host, Grayson Wolf. 7 teams in our coverage area won their first 2 playoff games and secured a spot in the regional semi. Only elite football left. Great program against great program, and we had every yard line covered tonight. All 7 of them will get breakdowns on the show. Only 1 game out of Regions 11, 15, and 23. While we'll have 2 games out of Regions 19 and 27. And before checking out our game of the week, I'll give everyone an update on our 5 Coach of the Year candidates. So sit back and enjoy the next half hour. We'll start our show with not just 1, but 2 TVC teams, both in Region 27. Eastern and Waterford picked up wins last week and are now looking for a berth in the regional final. Cameron Nupp and Shane Scalfaro joined the show to take us through both games.
Grayson, I know we are all excited for these 2 games right here, but we've got to see Eastern first.
Yeah, Shane, the last time we checked in on the Eagles, they defeated Trimble in a barn burner to put themselves in the driver's seat for a TVC Hawking title. Since then, they've capped off one of the greatest seasons in their program's history. Jason Jackson's squad went on to clinch their first conference title since 2000 and their first #1 seed with a 9-1 regular season record. Along the way, they've broken records for points scored, total yards, turnovers, forced, and defensive points scored. The Eastern faithful were fired up for their Eagles' first ever appearance in the regional semi. Their first drive of the game, Rivers' Cable Isley is going to try to make something happen. But you know what? It's Brandon Oldacre once again who's going to come into your frame here. He's going to go ahead and slap that ball right out of Cable Isley's hands. Right there. There it is. It's out, and the Eagles are all over it. All night long, the Eagles' defense would bend but not break. Isley lofting one up in the corner of the end zone, but Tyler Hill's there to bat it out of the air. Not in my house, he says. The Eagles would take over on downs a play later. The Pilots wouldn't be held off forever, though. After back-to-back sacks, Isley finds Lucas Dennis, who goes full extension here to make the touchdown catch. 6-0 River. Eastern trying to answer on a 2-minute drill, but Cooper Barnett drops back, and on 4th down, he finds Gavin Murphy to extend the drive. Just seconds to go in the half now. Barnett looking down the seam, but he finds the arms of Cable Isley for an interception. The Eagles would roar back to life in the second half, though. They'd answer with a touchdown of their own on the opening drive. They'd block a punt and return it for a touchdown, and they'd hold on to win this one by a final score of 21-14. The Eagles' magical season continues with a trip to the regional title game, but the question is, Shane, is Waterford going to join them?
You know, Cam, Waterford not only has a chance to meet Eastern in the regional finals, but avenge their Week 2 loss. And boy, do these teams know how to start a game. Caldwell opening drive and Dylan Wheeler with a great run to help set them up nice. 4th and goal. Quarterback Cale Bender finds Ethan Kroc for the score, 7-0. Wildcats with a chance to answer. 3rd and 15, pass is tipped and caught by Drew Huck for the first down, but they're going to turn the ball over on downs. Both offenses start to stall, but the special teams for Waterford shows up. They tipped a punt to give great field position, and Colton Jones thanks them by bouncing around and taking the game to 7-7. But then special teams strikes back the wrong way. Wildcats snap too high, and the Caldwell gets the ball back in great position. Cale Bender is going to take it with his legs and go untouched. 14-7 Caldwell, and that'll take us to halftime. Opening drive for the 3rd quarter, and Waterford is moving. Hayden Jones takes the snap, throws, and that looks picked. Oh wait, he caught it for a Waterford touchdown. Extra point is no good. Both teams go back and forth, but soon enough, Caldwell finished the job, punching their ticket to the regional finals, winning 20-13. It's been a very different up and down season for Waterford, but with how much the younger guys played, be on the lookout for a scary Waterford team next season.
So just one TVC Hawking team makes it to the Region 27 title game, but we'll have it all next week. Shane, Cam, thanks for your great work tonight, fellas. So now looking ahead to that game next week, Eastern and Caldwell will go head-to-head for a shot at the state semis. Both Eastern and Caldwell are in uncharted territory this postseason, as both teams have reached the regional final for the first time in their histories. Eastern will have to contain Caldwell's explosive passing attack and continue to utilize their run game if they want to stay alive. The Fort Frye Cadets are no stranger to November football, as they've had playoff games in this month every year since 2015. Playoff dominance in Beverly, and this year has been no different. TSL Titan Peyton Brooker is here in studio to give us a breakdown of their matchup with West Jefferson.
Grayson, this semifinals matchup in Region 23 means so much for both of these schools. I went out to Fort Frye this week to get the players and head coach Eric Huck's opinion on this huge rematch.
Just like to win. I don't like losing. Obviously, nobody likes losing. But obviously, we won another regional title this year, and we're pushing for that. We take it one game at a time, though.
I think that we're going to have to learn how to cover the pass, because that's all they do pretty much, and really just go by our rules and do what the coaches say.
We got to step up and make plays in a big game like this. It could come down to one play. Both teams I think, are that good, and when it comes down to that one play, we want our guys to be in the right position.
Since the last matchup, not much has changed between these two schools' offensive game plans. Cadets this season have been in control of the rushing attack, averaging 262 yards per game. Meanwhile, the Rough Riders average around 283 yards per game in this passing attack this season. Right out of the gate, this game proved its potential as the Cadets took advantage of the run game as Sebastian Huck gets a 53-yard run, setting the field goal for 3 points. Cadets would strike again on an effective run game with a touchdown by Riddle, but the Rough Riders were not too shy to take advantage on the second quarter. Quarterback Austin Busher proved that from his past performances he would get a touchdown to end the first quarter to his receiver Mason Book to make it 10-7. But the second quarter proved to have an insane turn of events, and here's how it was, this explosive defense. Because the Cadets fumbled this ball and it was picked up by Braxton Stone for a 45-yard defensive touchdown. However, in an unbelievable turn of events, the exact thing happens to the Rough Riders. Matthias Kesselring takes it to the other end zone for a 91-yard touchdown. West Jefferson, though, continued this onslaught, including this 70-yard touchdown connection to Book. Unfortunately, in the end, in the exciting Region 23 semifinals, Rough Riders passing proved too much as West Jefferson moves on to the finals, 49-30.
Well, Peyton, this sounded like a crazy game to be at tonight. Give us some insight.
Well, Grayson, these two schools went after each other from the beginning on this one. Fort Frye's offense tonight couldn't come into effect without always reliable offensive line, who had created many spaces for positive yardage. And for West Jefferson, they were on an air raid level offense, as well as pass after pass. Austin Busher was able to find his man for a big game or exciting touchdown pass. Busher in total was able to connect for a total of 20 passes for the entire night for 333 yards. His receiver Buck had a total of 226 yards and 3 impressive touchdowns.
So what changed in the second half that shut down the Cadets?
Including the non-stop passing attack, Fort Frye was just not able to shake off some of their mistakes, getting shut down by a very effective Rough Riders defense. West Jefferson had the game pretty much in their pocket after their successful time management and still getting through the end zone. This was definitely the Rough Riders game throughout the second half.
Yeah, so what do the Cadets have to do to recover for next season?
The Cadets only have now a total of 10 seniors graduating, including running back Britton Riddle and O-lineman Grant Baker. But one player to watch next season will be Clayton Miller, who had an amazing season before his injury. He will be a core on this offense next season as they try to reload it for next year for him to return.
Yeah, unfortunate ending for Fort Frye, but another great season for Coach Huck and the Cadets. Definitely a top program in our coverage. Thanks so much, Peyton. These playoff games have been bonkers. Get so much more on all of our social medias: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll have pictures and recaps all throughout the weekend. And head over to woub.org/gridiron for all of our written content until season's end. Last week in our game of the week, BloomCarroll won on a last-minute touchdown. This week, with the one-seeded Bishop Watterson Eagles in their way, it seemed like they were going to need some more heroics. So we welcome Maria Manessi for this regional semifinal in Division III, Region 11.
Grayson, these two teams are no strangers. They met just last season in the regional title game, where BloomCarroll took home a 33-28 victory in a thriller. But tonight they are playing for a spot in the regional championship game. BloomCarroll's offense gets driving down the field to open up the game. On 4th and 4 from the 10-yard line, Ethan Thanthanabon connects with Jet Jones right at the goal line. That later sets up this score from Bowden Bishop in the end zone, 7-0 Bulldogs. Later, Thantanabog leading another drive down the field with this dime to Dylan Armentrout. Trayton McKee nods a 26-yard field goal to extend BloomCarroll's lead 10-0. Just before the half, Watterson's offense came alive. AJ McInich finds Christopher Bear right in the end zone. It's 10-7. After both defenses hold for a majority of the third quarter, McInich connects with Dominic Theotto, and Watterson takes its first lead of the night, 14-10. And McInich isn't stopping there. Later, he extends the Eagles' lead with this 51-yard score to make it 20-10 following a missed PAT. With just 2 minutes remaining, it's all on the line for BloomCarroll. On fourth down, Thantanabog looks for Jace Rockwood, but the ball slips out of his hands and is intercepted as the Eagles to go on to win this one, 20-10.
Tough loss for the Bulldogs. It seems like that offense was completely shut down after the first quarter. What went wrong there?
Yeah, BloomCarroll came out aggressive in the first quarter on a couple of big offensive drives to open up the game. But then it seemed like they took their foot off the gas a bit. The Bulldogs couldn't convert on crucial third downs, and the Eagles were able to shut down the run game. Bishop Watterson then...
Yeah, so Bishop Watterson was able to take advantage with 2 big scores in the second half. Take us through what happened there.
Yeah, third downs were a problem for the Bulldog defense, and they just weren't able to stop the Eagles. AJ McInich was great at creating plays out of the pocket and used his legs to open up opportunities down the field.
So with the loss, BloomCarroll's season doesn't only come to an end, but they have to say goodbye to 19 seniors.
Yeah, and it's been a senior class that has experienced so much success over the past 4 years. That includes offensive lineman Jaden Ball and running back Dylan Armentrout, who have been key leaders on the offensive side of the ball. The Bulldogs will return junior quarterback Ethan Thantanabog, who has been a standout player for them, and he will continue to be a leader for the team come next season.
Yeah, sad to see it end for this BloomCarroll senior class. Like you said, they've been so successful over their time at Bloom. Thanks so much for another great night of BloomCarroll football, Maria. Our Instagram voters had BloomCarroll taking that one, but Bishop Watterson was the one taking care of business. Head over to our Instagram story to vote each week. We'll go as long as our teams go. In this Region 19 battle, you guys had Ironton taking home the win with 72% of the vote. Ironton and Harvest Prep battled last year in the Region 19 title game. The Fighting Tigers dominated, winning 34-0. Prep has been dominant this year, however, as they are 10-0 against Ohio opponents. OVC lead reporter Lucy Schaefer is here in studio to give us everything we need to know.
Grayson, this is a game that I've been hoping to see all season, and that's because it's a regional final matchup from last season. In Southeast Ohio, I finally get to talk about it with all of you, so let's get into the action. Last year's result was a 34-0 win from Ironton, so let's see if they can do it again. First drive of the game, Ernest Pierce tosses to Lenny Wicks. Look at that footwork from the junior, and those wheels give Prep 24 yards and their first score, 6-0, 2 minutes into the game. Several punts later, and it's halfway through the second. It's Pierce on the QB sneak to fight his way through that defensive line, and that's another Harvest Prep score right there, 14-0. Offensive dominance from Prep, but let's give the defense a little love. Braden Schreck's pass intended for Aris Pittman is picked off and ran back for Prep's third touchdown of the night. That's about a 75-yard run, and the Warriors are on top 20-0. But those Tigers, they've had enough. Schreck back to pass, scrambling, finds Sean Terry on that sideline. Can you believe this catch? Ironton is finally on the board, 20-7. The first drive of the half didn't go so hot for the Tigers, but Terry turned that right around with a pick six, 20-14 Prep. An intense defensive battle for the rest of the game, and that score would stay put, 20-14, and Prep heads to the regional final.
Crazy night in Athens. What did you see from both teams that made it so interesting?
Yeah, Grayson, it wasn't just the offense or just the defense that made this game so exciting. It was both sides of the ball. Harvest Prep started the game off strong with that touchdown, but the Ironton defense kept them silent until the middle of the second quarter and then for the entire second half. On the other side, the Prep offense scored 3 touchdowns as opposed to Ironton's 1 in the first half, and also forced the Tigers to punt more often than not. If there's anything to take away from tonight, it was that talent out there on the field.
Yeah, so take us a little deeper. How did Harvest Prep pull off the win?
Yeah, it was all about the defense, especially in the second half. They were able to make those big plays tonight, making them when it mattered. Look at this pass coverage right here. Prep was scoreless the entire second half, but the Tigers just weren't able to capitalize on their drives, and that Warrior defense was the difference.
So we heard a lot about the quarterback situation for the Fighting Tigers this week. Who was Ironton's guy tonight?
As we expected, Braden Schreck was starting for the Tigers. We spoke to Coach Pendleton before the game, and he said that since Thacker is a more physical option at tight end, it would be better to have Schreck start to have them both sides on the field in the optimal positions.
So back to Harvest Prep. What's next for them?
The Warriors will play the winner of Wheelersburg and Barnesville in the Region 19 finals. Aiden will have more for you on that game soon.
Tough loss for Ironton, but as we know, they always reload, so they'll be back. Lucy, thanks so much for the great work. Fan base frenzy is down to the Final Four. And on the A side, it is those Ironton Fighting Tigers moving on. The B side was won by the Jackson Ironmen, C side was overtaken by the BloomCarroll Bulldogs, and the final of the four is the Wheelersburg Pirates. The semifinal vote starts on Sunday, and the championship voting will start on Wednesday, so head over to our Instagram story all week. As we saw last week, Wheelersburg is the hottest team in our coverage, winning 5 straight games and only allowing 14 points total in those 5. Dominance. Did their dominance continue tonight, though? Well, that's why Aiden Crowley's here.
Grayson, this team is hotter than the sun right now. But a team that gave them some trouble last year were these Barnesville Shamrocks. And I know you covered the OVAC last year, so let's take a walk down memory lane together. If you recall, the Shamrocks went into the locker room up 24-21, thanks in large part to a man you're pretty familiar with.
Yeah, CJ Hannes, he's right here. He was the main man for them last year. Quarterback, scored 2 touchdowns in the first half. But he's gone. He's graduated. Casey Carpenter is now at the helm, and he just won Division V East District Player of the Year. Pretty good himself.
Yeah, not too shabby. He was definitely a focus for the Pirates, but a turning point in this game last year was the physicality. They ran the ball 52 times, wearing down the Shamrocks for 429 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, sounds like Wheelersburg got it done in typical Berg fashion. They have the blueprint. Was it a similar story tonight?
I'll just say this, Grayson. This Pirate ship, it's still sailing. Parents, hide your kids' eyes because this one's rated R, ruthless. Shamrocks wanted the ball to start the game, and they were aggressive with it. Carpenter converts on the 4th and 6 in the red zone, and that aggression is paid off one play later. Barnesville star, Tayson star, bounces the run outside and into your living room. Strong opening statement from the Shamrocks, 7-0. The Rocks were rolling until this 4th down stuff from the Pirates to inject some life into that sideline. By the way, quarterback Braylon Rucker on 3rd down, cooler than the other side of the pillow. Lattimore picks up 26 yards to keep this drive alive. From there, Berg marched down the field, and check out this speed from Creed Warren as he races into the end zone to tie this game at 7. Out of the break, head coach Rob Woodward decides to feed the hot hand, and why not? Creed Warren, can you take them higher? You catch that one, Grayson, 83-yard house call, 14-7 Pirates. And after another Berg stop, they decide to get tricky. How about a play-action pass this time? Rucker to Colton Salyers to put this game on ice. Pirates punched their ticket to the regional title game 26-13. And man, Grayson, just what a gutsy win from this Berg team.
Yeah, they take that step towards a regional title, but the game got off to a rocky start for them.
Yeah, Grayson, only 3 offensive plays in the first quarter, and thanks to a lot of this, Taysom Star was getting chunks, 8 to 6 yards, and it was a very frustrating time for these Pirates. They couldn't get any rhythm going, and to be honest with you, they got a little bit lucky on the first half with some key drops from Barnesville. You see this one. A couple of these go the other way, and we're looking at a lot different of a first half in this matchup.
Yeah, I picked up on what you were putting down in that highlight call. Creed Warren, he was phenomenal tonight.
I can't sneak nothing past you, Grayson. He was everything for these Pirates, and he took over this running back room. It was a committee, but after his 4-touchdown performance against Portsmouth West, it's been his. 24 carries, 291 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, what more can you say about him?
Yeah. We saw Lucy reveal Berg's opponent next week. What do the Pirates need to do to get their revenge from the regular season?
They have to contain the quarterback. Desmond Porter ran all over him last year, and they also had 3 turnovers in the first half. They were pretty competitive with them in this game, and they just have to button up those mistakes, and I expect a lot closer of result in this one. And they're playing, again, like we talked about, their best football right now.
Yeah. So Wheelersburg only finished the regular season with 6 wins, but that tough non-conference schedule is paying dividends for them. You can see that from the regular season. Thanks, Aiden. We released our top 5 for Coach of the Year a couple of weeks ago at the end of the regular season. We had a few weeks since then, so let's get a little check-in on our Coach of the Year watch list.
TJ Carper and the Vinton County Vikings went 9-1 and won their first TVC Ohio title since 1999. But in the playoffs, they fell in the first round to 7-seed Galley Academy. Unioto coach Matt Hoops led the Sherman Tanks to a 9-1 record with the number 2 seed in Region 16, but lost in the first round to Urbana. Mike Jackson and the Fairland Dragons were also a 2 seed, but they reside in Region 19. Even though they won 9 games, they dropped their round 1 matchup with Portsmouth. The West Muskingum Tornadoes, led by Nate Brownrigg, captured their 10th win of the year in round 1 against Union Local, but fell in week 12 to Harvest Prep. Finally, Jason Jackson and Eastern won their first 2 playoff games, and tonight took down River to advance to the Region 27 title game.
So some tough luck in the playoffs for our coaches, but great regular seasons from all of them. A reminder that our Coach of the Year will be revealed next week on our season finale, so don't miss it. Fan of the Week was so much fun tonight. It was a little chilly outside, but like I said, we still had a lot of fun. We had some great conversations and even ran into a possible Gridiron Glory host of the future. All right, what's your name?
Hunter. Brer.
Hunter, are you Sheridan's #1 fan?
No. One. Cheating.
You got a lot of no's.
I'm like cousin with the quarterback, first of all.
Cousins with the quarterback.
No, you're not. Yeah, I actually am.
So is your last name also Sheridan?
No.
That's disappointing. All right, you're a big Gridiron fan. What's been your favorite game we've seen this season?
Walker's Memorial and
Ooh, we didn't see that game.
probably Licking Valley Sheridan.
We were at that game. All right, who am I here with?
John Skinner.
All right, John. We saw you week 9 when you guys played Tri-Valley. Lost that game, but what's the vibe been like since then with this football team this year?
Well, you know, our boys, they were a little bit down because that was a real big game, tough team. Props to them. And, you know, we ended up coming back. You know, we beat the crap out of New Legs. We ended up beating the crap out of Gehenna last week, 49-0, which is kind of embarrassing. But, you know, we're making it further in Tri-Valley, so that's always a good day.
Who's going to win Gridiron Glory Player of the Year?
The West End running back with 43 touchdowns, setting the NVL record in most touchdowns in a season.
Ball knower, Rashid Sasay. Remember the name. Was there a spirit bus, or was it just everyone made it out?
Everybody just made it out tonight. We got the best fans around. Yeah, I don't know if we did the fan vote on Gridiron Glory.
Right.
I don't know if we won that or not, but I mean, we should have. If we didn't, they probably...
It's still going. Make sure you still vote. Yeah.
Well, BloomCarroll probably bought fans to do that, so.
So you think Rashid Sasay should win Player of the Year? Have you voted on WUB.org yet?
I'm going to do it tonight.
So like Ben, you also go to WUB.org/Gridiron and vote for your Player of the Year.
11:30 every night, every Friday night. Watch Gridiron Glory.
Ben's going to be the host in like 10 years. I like this guy. You got the jersey on?
Yeah.
What position do you play?
Receiver and defensive end.
Receiver and defensive end. Do you have any touchdowns this year?
1.
Oh my God, I know him too.
Say the line.
Y'all ladies all right?
Yeah. All right, we're back with Ben. The choice was clear. He's our Week 13 Fan of the Week. His Gridiron Glory Media Day towel for you. Congratulations, Ben.
Yep, thank you.
We'll see you when you're the host of Gridiron Glory in a few years.
All right, I'll try.
My guy Ben knows ball, and he might not end up wearing the black polo, but his name is going to be on this show while he's on the field. You have a bright future, Ben. Keep up the good work. Our game of the week turned into a barn burner. Sheridan and Bishop Hartley came down to the wire as they looked for a berth in the Region 15 championship game. Bryce Tinson was out at this matchup, and he now joins us live.
Grayson, we're very familiar with this staunch Sheridan rush defense, but this might be the best offense they faced all year on the ground in this Hartley offense. The Hawks have one of the most complex run schemes I've seen at the high school level. They run a lot of 21 and 22 personnel. That means 2 running backs and 1 or 2 tight ends. And they do it out of a variation of the wing T formation. Everything they do builds off of something else in the playbook. There's a lot of window dressing. One of my personal favorite things they do is a dummy pull with the backside guard to try and pull the backside linebacker and safety from playing pursuit angles and taking away cutbacks. It's a very counter-heavy offense as well. But they don't do a great job of hiding those counters. When one is coming, you can tell within milliseconds of the snap. They pull the guard and tight end, while the H-back takes a drop step towards the ball and takes a counter handoff. Now, Sheridan is a tough matchup for them. They play a 3-man front, but still pack 8 in the box on most plays. The job for the 3-down lineman is simple: destroy blocks. They can take out 2 gaps and disrupt the line for Hartley's pulling linemen. Having 3 linebackers in the stack, an overhang guy, and a box safety all playing at about 5 to 6 yards of depth will allow those guys to have their eyes in the backfield and block out all of that extra noise to make the play at or near the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get right into this game. Hartley, first drive, Robert Lathan has 99 ball carrier vision, cuts back against the grain, throws out the stiff arm. That's 6 and the lead. Hawks with the ball back. But it's A.J. Winters making plays again. Nothing new there. We've seen this before. That's a pick 6 and a tie ball game. Generals have life. Sheridan ball again, a little QB power for you. Getting Sheridan untouched in the end zone. That's a 14-7 General lead. He's fired up. So am I. Next Hartley possession, it's that Patterson counter. Tried to tell you about it. Huge hole for Lathan. Gonna need more than arms to bring him down. Hits the cut and the gas. 57 yards later, we're tied again. We're gonna jump to the second half now. Sheridan with a 27-21 lead. This game is crazy. I promise you, it's not deja vu. Sheridan goes up and over the top. 34-21 Generals. Early fourth quarter, Hartley needs this. They're going to turn to none other than Lathan. That's his 4th touchdown of the night, and it's now 34-27. Same score, 2 seconds left. Last chance for Hartley. Matt Galish throws up a prayer. It's picked off by Jacob Householder. And for the first time since 2016, Sheridan's playing in the regional semifinal game. I'll tell you what, this is a game of the year right here.
Bryce, indeed, that was a crazy finish, but I know there's more to that last drive. Can you walk us through it?
Grayson, I'm going to take you back to the seconds to last play. So there's about 14 seconds left. Galish throws a beautifully placed ball to Montre Eden. He gets two hands on it, but watch Braden Weaver here. He jars the ball loose. Huge play and likely a game saver. I'm going to take you to a couple plays before that one, too. Another blown opportunity for Hartley. Ryan Perley gets behind the defense, but it's just off his outstretched hands. But Sheridan also had opportunities to end the game. Creed Hill forces a bad pass. AJ Winters has a shot at it, but he drops it. It's just a wild last couple of minutes in this game.
Yes, you broke down the Hartley run game before the highlights. What did you see tonight?
And Grayson, this is one of those offenses that you just really hope to contain. You're not really looking to stop them. And Sheridan did about as good as they could. They averaged 6.8 per carry. Hartley got their 280 that they averaged on the ground, but they had to work for every yard. There was a couple chunk plays in there that, helped the average get up a little bit higher. But Sheridan had crucial stops on 3rd and 4th down that really changed the momentum in this game.
Yeah, that Sheridan offense is hot. What do you think changed?
Well, Grayson, since that Tri-Valley loss, they've scored 39, 49, 42, and then 34 tonight. Seems like the ground game is what's clicking recently. They've been dominant, but a large part of that is because Justin Munyon is finding his stride, and Caden Sheridan, the quarterback, is willing to get a little bit dirty. Also have to shout out the big guys up front. They've been making massive pulls. Had 129 on the ground tonight, and they'll have to do it again against a really, really good Steubenville defense next week.
So Coach Glover, the third, and the Generals with a great win for the program. Ben is going to be a happy man tonight. Thanks for your great work, Bryce, and get home safe. Now, before we get out of here, I have good news. Top plays are back. Spots in the regional final were up for grabs, and you guys delivered with some awesome plays, so let's see them. As always, we're going to start with number 5. Waterford calls a pass play here. Ball's going to get tipped, and even though it bounces off Drew Huck's chest, he's able to reel it in before getting popped by that Caldwell defender. Now at number 4, Berg was looking for a spark, and who else but that man, Creed Warren. He's going to take Wheelersburg higher. Beautiful blocking up front. He hits the hole and is gone. Turns on the Jets, and can they catch him? Not today. 83 yards all the way to pay dirt. Spark plug. Moving on to number 3. Here's Ethan Thanavong. Quick drop and goes down the left sideline. Jace Rockwood, who tells his defender to meet him at the apex. He comes down with it, making it look easy. Now number 2, we have a defensive highlight. A rough exchange between two West Jeff Rough Riders, and after the ball gets popped around a little bit, Matthias Kesselring comes out with it. Does he have the speed to take it to the house like Warren? He might not be a running back, but he is gone. Touchdown, Cadets. And for number 1, we head back to that BloomCarroll game. Dan Denham rolls out looking for his tight end. It's not going to find him, but the ball ricochets. And Jet Jones, what a name. Right place, right time, great concentration, and great catch. So a wonderful night of top plays, and make sure you head over to wub.org/gridiron to vote for Player of the Year. That closes this Monday. Last week I said it closes on Wednesday. I was wrong. I'll take that one. Hand up. It closes on Monday. My mom and sister have voted, so make sure you do too. And remember, Fan Base Frenzy, we are in the Final Four. Sunday will be the semifinal. Vote on them. And then on Wednesday will be the championship. Find out on our Instagram story. So next week is the hour-long season finale, and you certainly will not want to miss it. So be back next week at the same time and the same place. Because remember, as always, there is nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.